what does an iron have to do with the shield? And why is color important on the battlefield? Triangular in shape, made from wood, canvas, and glue, this type of heater will help protect you. Oh, hey everyone! Lauren back with you, and today we're going to talk about another shield, but we're going forward in time a little bit. That most classic of knightly shields, the triangular shaped heater shield. But let's get to it. Why did we have an iron in the intro to the video? Well, it's called a heater shield, not because medieval people called it that. As far as we can tell, this is a Victorian term applied to it because it looks like the bottom of an iron. If I slowly move forward so the camera doesn't lose focus, do we see a resemblance? So the shape on the bottom of the iron, originally a heating iron for pressing clothes from the 19th century, a heater for short, and since shields looked like the bottom of this device, hey, heater shield. But in medieval context, it would only be called a shield. So again, Victorian antiquarians muddling up what we do, but we can still call it a heater shield because it helps us in the 21st century understand what it is we're talking about. So yes, this triangular shield, and it's very different from the round shield that we talked about in the last video, especially because look how you hold it. This isn't the center boss grip here. This isn't just one hand. Now you have straps. You could have straps and hold it with just one hand on those straps, but having the two straps on here, you lose a little bit of distance with the shield, but you gain a lot more, because what do we see coming in, especially in the 11th century and very prominent in the 12th and 13th centuries? Well, we see the use of horses. So you're riding on horseback, you need to still be able to use your sword, but control the reins of the horse, and this type of shield allows you to have the reins in hand, still be able to control, still defend yourself, and still attack. When you have that boss-held shield, it's pretty heavy just in the hand, and it's difficult to be able to do all the controls. So here we go, we're looking at this. We also notice that there's this padding underneath. Now there are different designs. This is just a basic shield I made myself. We'll talk about the construction in a bit, but straps can be in different configurations. You could have a strap here and here, so you can hold it different ways. And there should be something that I haven't added yet called a guige, or a carrying strap, which would go on the shield and then you could sling it over your back, especially if you had a two-handed weapon. We see this with kite shields in the 11th century, the percussors of these, which went way, way down to protect the legs a bit better. And you could fling it onto your back and use an axe two-handed. Axes are for another video of that. So, this shield. I've made this shield, and it could be considered traditional manner, where you get thin layers of planking or thin sheets of wood, and I used 2 sheets of very thin wood and glued them together, and when they were glued together I pressed them into a curved shape. So you can see that it does have a curve. Maybe it's not quite as much of a curve as some shields, but other shields were quite flat. So we find a lot of differentiation in artwork and in the little bits and pieces that survive. But shields are made of wood. Again, they are disposable, so finding shields that exist from 12th, 13th century and into the 14th century, that's not an easy thing to do, because they're made out of wood and they're going to decay, they're going to rot away. But on this I have an adjustable strap for the arm, hand grip here, padding underneath, so any kind of impact to the shield, this helps protect my arm. Also, it fills in the space on the curve so that my arm is comfortable and there isn't a gap where my arm is flexing and moving into it constantly. It's fairly secure. Now, because this shield, the heater shield, gets a bit smaller than the round shield, and certainly not as long as the kite shield, you might think, oh, but it leaves your legs open. If we look at our sword and buckler manual, we know that attacks to the legs can be thwarted. So you can have the shield and the sword out, like we did with our round shield. We can still have the weapon, but now we're looking at sword with longer cross guards, and as we're fighting, we can do various moves, and the camera's not going to like me all this motion. We can do various moves. Now again, don't hold the shield where it's going to angle into your face. You want to have it up, you want to protect, the sword doing the work, fighting around the shield, and the shield staying close. And you can lean forward, move back, keep the shield out, defend, attack, attack. There we go. So it's a very different shield in its construction, how it's held. Like I said, there can be multiple straps, and you can grab those straps together and hold it with just the palm of your hand and do things that are similar to a sword and buckler. But it's a bigger shield, and it does really well, especially in a battle when you have it strapped on like this. So yes, it reminds us of Captain America strapping on the shield, tightening that strap there, yeah. But this is a triangular design. You can hold it different ways, but look at that. If it were, it's got a little bit more protection for down low. You can angle it quite well. You can strike with that corner. Different ways of holding it allow you to hit with the shield as well. And we also mentioned painting in color. So I did this just before last night, before filming the video today. Ran out of blue paint, so you see that it is a little thin along the top. Had just enough to give everything one coat, and ran out as I was trying to spread the second one over. But there we go. It is in the Fellowship of the Sword color, so it matches the buckler. We've got the green field, the white mountain, the blue sky, representing Alberta here. And it's painted because in the Middle Ages, when you start to wear armor, and yes, you wear helmets, and you can't see faces, and at a distance, you can't really see people, the shield is a great way to tell people who you are, especially on the battlefield, because battles get quite chaotic. People get mixed up and turned around, and if you're a knight, you would have your coat of arms painted on your shield. If you were a soldier serving a knight or a lord, some noble, then you would probably have a shield in that noble's colors. So we can imagine that maybe there was a noble with a simple pattern of shield in the, 12th century, early 13th century, and they would have, this might represent the house that that person belongs to, whatever they hold, an earldom, a duchy, a barony. And so, if you're in the service of a baron who's got a white mountain on their shield, then you are identifiable in the battle, so people know who you are. So painting shields, it's not just a design at random, it tells people who you are, what side you're on, helps not just keep you safe from attacks, but keep you safe from your own side, because people know who you are. So a shield, the Hida shield, pointed, triangular, made of wood, disposable, but very helpful and useful in a battle. Again, this is canvas covered, so not only are the 2 layers of wood I used to shape this glued, which, by the way, when you glue the layers together and press them into the curved shape and hold it that way, it dries with the curve and it doesn't give up. And that glue adds strength, and then the cadence layer glued on adds more strength. Again, just like the round shield, if we're smashing into this and breaking off chunks, it's going to help hold together. Last, just a quick look at the medieval Hida shield, which is very different from the round shield because of how you have it on your arm, how you can hold it. Different strapping systems will have different orientations, a different shape, and again, painted because you want to make sure people know who you are in the fight, so your own side doesn't attack you, and then of course you defend yourself, and you show your colors. This is showing your colors. Hey, yeah, you show your true colors. Well, here are your true colors. This is the side you're on. Terms that we use today go back a very, very long way. So thanks very much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed some of this information on the Hida shield. Remember to like, subscribe, notification bell if you want to make sure you know when these videos come out. And I hope that everything's going okay. I hope that you have a fabulous day. Remember, if you have a shield in the way, present it. And I've run out of what I was going to say for the rhyme and I can't do it. So we're just going to end the video. Bye, everybody.